All right. I'm not sure about you, but personally, I feel like throughout my life, I have always felt a sense of loneliness. And even though I'm surrounded by great and wonderful people, I've never been able to fully shake off that feeling. And I'm not sure if it's because I'm an overthinker and I think like no one likes me, or if it's because I never found someone who could talk to me, call me like their best friend. I'm not sure. But the only thing I knew for sure that was I told myself if I ever had a best friend, I would treat them like the world. I would do anything for them. And perhaps this mindset was a coping mechanism to tell myself that I am a good friend and thus a good person. Or perhaps I held onto this mindset as a hope that if I cared for someone this deeply, maybe one day it would be reciprocated and that I would find someone who would do anything for me and I wouldn't have to take care of myself. It's a little wonky, but regardless of wherever that mindset of mine originated from, I never found this best friend that I had hoped. And especially as my college days were wrapping up, the chances of finding said friend grew like slimmer and slimmer. But with these thoughts in my mind recently, I feel like I've been thinking about this phrase of treat yourself like a friend. And it's something that I wanted to start embodying and something I wanted to talk about. First, let's define what is a good friend. You may have your own definition, but for me personally, it boils down to these five things, give or take. First is someone I can trust, meaning that if they say they'll do something, they'll do it. I know that they'll do it. Number two, someone who shows up and supports, like when I'm feeling down, they know how to cheer me up. Number three, someone I would want the best for, meaning that I worry for them and I try to offer guidance when I can. Number four, someone willing to try new things and have deep conversations with. And finally, for number five, someone willing to do small favors, like if they call me at 2 a.m. and they needed me to grab them, I would already be on the way, right? Stuff like that. And when writing out this perfect friend, I can't help but think, wouldn't it be nice if I could do that for myself? If I could trust myself, like if I told myself, I'm going to bed early and I'm going to get the work done tomorrow. I want to be able to fully trust the fact that undoubtedly know that the work will get done. Or if I could show up for myself better and be my biggest cheerleader. But instead, I feel like I'm the harshest critic ever to myself, right? I think this is common for everyone watching, right? We're a lot harsher on ourselves when we compare to others. And realistically, would I ever be harsh to my friend and I have all these crazy expectations of impossible expectations of perfection to my friend? No, I would not, right? Obviously not. But to myself, it feels like I'm always putting myself to that standard. And it sucks because I'm reminded of this phrase that I always say, which is life is ultimately an internal battle of accepting oneself. After all, the majority of the time, we are by ourselves, right? So wouldn't it make sense for the best relationship to be with ourselves? I don't know. But like I think the idea of enjoying one's presence without the need of someone else. And I think in today's society especially, we put so much value on relationships that I believe we just need to be comfortable in our own skin instead of relying on someone else. I think it'd be great if we were all just able to look at oneself in the mirror and say, you know, I feel great, I love myself, and things will work out for me without having to hear that from someone else. And honestly, this idea of treating myself as a friend, it just sounds really nice and something I want to work on. This could be through like playing more single player video games or trying out activities that I would normally wait for friends for. Like buying food that you're craving, for example, right? Like, sure, I could find people who would want to do it with me, but finding a date where everyone can meet up and all these logistics, yada yada yada, I'd be like, by that time, perhaps the craving's already gone, you know? But with this mindset of treating myself like a friend, I could just say, I'm treating myself out, right? And I know it might sound wonky, but I've actually personally never done like solo trips. Like I've never went out of my way to just go to my car and random cyclists on my own. I feel like I've always done it with someone else. Another example would be like movie hopping. I've never asked someone else to do it, but I've always wanted to do it. But with everyone being busy these days and everyone's on their own agendas, I feel like I'll never find the time. But I thought like, what if I just did it myself? Like, I'm sure the experience of movie hopping would be great with a friend, but I think also going alone has its own unique experience that, maybe it could be more enjoyable than going with a friend. I'm not too sure. I'll get back to you on that one day. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure with this philosophy, but point is, I feel like with this mindset, since you're not relying on anyone or waiting on someone else, you're able to more easily be curious and grow in your own skin, as well as learn to be more independent overall. Honestly, the reason I wanted to make this video was because of this one character from Lookism named Jerry Kwan. If you don't know him, he is someone restlessly devoted to a man named Jake Kim. And while the explanation isn't there, all we know is that he would do anything for him, even if it's taking down a gang of 100 men, right? And it got me thinking, I want to be the Jerry Kwan devoted to myself. And it's probably not easily as translatable. I feel like, again, it's a lot easier to fight for someone else than your own self sometimes. Like, if you insulted me, whatever. But if you insult my friend, I'm throwing hands, right? And while I don't need to get to the point where if someone insults me, I throw hands for myself, I want to close that gap of how much I'm willing to fight for myself versus how much I'm willing to fight for my friend, right? I think it's a little weird, but point is, I would fight for my friend at this level and I would fight for myself here, but I want to raise this up so I fight for myself more. Maybe I'm just crazy, I'm not sure. But point is like, okay, instead of fighting, let's say supportive, I am harsh on myself and I support myself like this. Friends, I'm like this. I want to, is what I'm saying. A little bit wonky. Let me make sure that's in frame. Okay, that's in front of the camera. I'm not, I was looking. Anyways, alright, let's wrap this up. Sometimes I think about how good of a friend I would be or how far I would go for my hypothetical best friend. Like, would I run 3 miles for them if they asked me to? And while I haven't been given many opportunities to prove myself that I would be a good friend, maybe, just maybe, I can prove it to myself now by treating myself right. Honestly, I don't know. This video was just some thoughts I've been having recently with that mindset of treating yourself like a friend. I just wanted to share that, and hopefully it, gave you some food for thought, just some concepts to think about. But, I'll catch y'all later, so peace. See ya.